So let me get this right. Black girls called you ugly? So do you want me to believe that the white girls called you handsome? The black girls called you ugly. So you want me to believe that the white girls called you handsome?
Oh, you were finished. Oh, well, allow me to retort.
Her social media name is Mika. All right, it's not the whole name. It's just we'll just use that. Okay, I want to stay above board. Yeah, I don't want to violate any standards and practices in circa 2025. I don't want to do that. I'm comfortable doing that. Trust me. Okay. Back in my rougher days, man, I was so vicious and whatnot. Okay. But I see these posts that she puts up a lot of them and shit. She victim shamed the entire world in the past, and I've made a video on that. I'm not gonna rehash that, but I want to talk to you women that y'all look like this and shit. I'm gonna tell you, it's 2025 and shit. There's a startling and depressing lack of empathy across the world and shit. And why should we be any different? Okay, why should I be any different? I grew up non-select. A woman shouldn't be handsome. You should be pretty and shit. You're not even handsome. Okay, you fucked off. Okay, now, I grew up and shit, and I had bitches doing the utmost in real time, face to face and shit, fucking with my ass to violate my human rights and shit. I just want to put that out there, shit. I want to put that out. They said I was non-select and shit. All right, and all the motherfuckers that said that shit, uh, they got gas face today. Okay, because they had to make something of themselves, like eating off my motherfucking plate and shit. That's an inside. That's a little inside. I guess joke and shit. For people that are in the know. Right, a lot of them, I'm non-selective, this, that, and the other, and whatever. But you have to build your whole shit off stolen, you know, tentacles. So I want to talk about Mika and shit, and some bitches that look like her, including that one nurse that keeps coming on here on social media giving these, misinformation, which is against her own profession, and she could lose her job and shit. I'm not gonna show a picture of that motherfucker because every time I see that, it triggers the shit out of me. It really triggers me. I'm a very emotional guy. Okay, I'm a very nice and emotional guy, not a stupid guy and shit. Okay, not as a very methodical person and shit. I want to say that Mika is unattractive. All right, I can't lie. My eyes can't lie. Well, sometimes when I'm wearing my glasses, all four of my eyes, my 56-year-old eyes, can't lie to me. I don't see any use in her. And that black men are the most egalitarian men, if that's the term, on the planet, which means that we're the genetic garbage men and shit in the sexual marketplace. That's where we've seen across the diaspora. I cannot deny that shit. I can't deny the fact that I have been approached by some monsters and shit, some messed up shit. Getting indignant when I didn't want to capitulate and fit into the box they thought I was in. I wasn't in no fucking box. I want to tell Mika, you are unappealing, visually unappealing and shit. You should stop making these goddamn videos. But hey, it's a free country. That's what they tell us. That's the byline. We know the truth. All right, you fucked up. Okay, you're fucked up looking. All right, my original video with her, I had this gag where I was showing her doing the thirst trap, and on the other half of the screen there was a motherfucker on fire jumping out the window and shit. He was so horrified that even though he was on fire, when he jumped out the window, his head and chin hit the window sill and shit, and he did like a 360 spin out of that bitch. I still feel that way today. I just didn't feel like looking up that clip and add it to this video. Okay? I trolled this bitch. Okay? I trolled this bitch in a minute long segment. You could look that up. No feel like fucking around with it and shit. I just want to say, man, I'm tired of you fucked up sisters out here, throwing salt in the game and shit. Y'all know y'all fucked up. And it's doubly fucked up when a black man don't want to fuck with you. He'd rather wrap his hand around his business down there and take care of himself than deal with you, look at you in the face, have you within breathing space of me, non-select. I'll be like, fuck your ass, nigga. Okay, like I'm skirting the line right now. YouTube be on my bumper and shit. I get tired because I see a lot of women that look like this fucking around, and then I get mad at dudes, thirsty, dusty, real dusties, not just regular kings and shit out here. I get mad when you see these motherfuckers with kids and shit. They be having like a bunch of kids, and you see some dude there, he wearing like a dirty white T-shirt or some other kind of fucked up T-shirt that who knows where it came from and shit. He don't even remember, with a stretched out neck and shit. He just suffering through life. He want to die, you know. He can't wait to get kicked out of the house and shit after giving up the undeserved children, you know. Yeah, that's the reality and shit. I mean, like one of these black dudes, you were raised in in an echo chamber where you couldn't see outside of the bitch because there was a fat bitch's muffin top right in front of the door that led out into the real world and shit. It's the whole blade thing, There's another world above it. Her fupa. There's another world out there, man. Don't fuck these motherfuckers, okay? And in the past, man, in my defense as a Generation Xer and shit, is an egalitarian individual and shit, in line with the other ones of those times in the 80s and everything. A lot of guys would make allowances if the morbidly obese woman had a decent looking face at least. A decent looking face, like from a 5 and above, maybe even a 3 and above and shit. Or if she was an ugly motherfucker, she was damn near disfigured, born disfigured and shit. If she had one hell of a body and shit, she could make it, And those chicks always took the ball and ran with it like they were something and shit. I'm like, bitch, you look like Phantom of the Opera from the 1920s, with them flaring nostrils where you can see a whole circle of her nostril and shit when she looking straight ahead. So they called a pug nose. I'm tired of Mika and shit. And a couple other bitches on here. I'm fucking tired. I don't know if I'm more tired of these ugly motherfuckers or these like chicks that are like a 3 to 5, and they be talking shit and they got this weird dumpy sounding male voice and shit. There's a chick I have in mind. I don't want to say her name because I'll start retching. I'll start retching because a lot of assholes in the manosphere were posting this chick like she was talking some game and shit. This is the same assholes posting Princella and shit after she spent last 5 or more years trashing us because her husband ran away from her fucking ass. And then she started eating carpet. And now we got, these ugly motherfuckers keep making these, videos. They're delusional. Okay, you're delusional. You need help. I'm looking at this woman. There's no way she could get help. Okay, I don't know what they'll do with her. Maybe she loses weight, she'll still be built like John Wayne and shit. She got like some wide man shoulders. She has shoulders wider than niggas on the football team when I was in high school and shit. And she got a fucked up face. She looked like a Flintstone or something. Like, I don't know. Like she should have her own cartoon or something. It's like shit. I don't want to fuck this motherfucker. I don't even want to fuck pieces of her. Like I said in another video, motherfuckers would just rationalize that shit. Like, well, if she put the blanket over her upper half, I could just get the ass and shit. And I realize that's crude. But I wanted to express my extreme disdain for this bullshit. And that the fact that I was annoyed by her video about this, talking shit to black men because they don't want to date quote unquote black women. We don't want to date black assholes. If you're an asshole, if you're insufferable, if you wear a drawers with a dick hole in it, I don't want to be with you. I don't want to be with a man acting bitch or somebody with a loud fucking mouth. I don't feel the need to monitor you or be your therapist or your emotional tampon. Nothing. I just want to have a normal fucking day without this shit. Even if you're an ugly motherfucker, I think you should be more than a little bit understanding and date in your lane and shit. There's some dusty ass fucked up dudes that will still lay up with you, and you should appreciate these men and take care of them like they are the golden goose egg and shit, because they are. Alright? And this fucking clip that I chose to include with this commentary, you see this motherfucker look like a cruise or some club or something. She's in one of these pool parties and shit, dancing in foamy water, and she's surrounded by handsome white men and shit. No homo. She's surrounded by the white men that black women want so bad to validate them by doing gutter sex with their ass and just acknowledging them so that they'll acknowledge them, And them white men are ignoring her fucking ass. It's not like they're trying to do that. They really can't see her. Those young, handsome, white Leonardo DiCaprio, the blonde hair, blue eyed guys, with the, they work out at the gym. They got good genetics because they ain't been eating this fucked up food that's like what we have down here in the slave pens. These are good looking guys. There she is, man. She's in skimpy clothing. She's all lathered up and shit with soap and everything, dancing and shaking her flat ass. That pot roast looking butt. You got some shit, even her shit is her. I'm like, bitch, you can't dress that shit up, nothing. There's nothing she can do. No clothes she can put on, no wig, no makeup, no nothing. That bitch need a hologram over herself, man. She, the same one they used to make it that Tupac, that Burning Man in one year. Right? Do the white men see your ass and shit? Fuck no, they don't. And because you know this deep down, you bring your ass back down here to the pens and shit, to the Petri dish with that Tupperware lid that we call the ghetto. You bring your ass down here and start abusing the little people and shit, okay? Us black men, straight black men, because we don't want to live with you. There's not enough liquor. You need to come with like a food truck full of liquor and booze and fentanyl and all kind of shit. You know what it would take for me to fuck your ass and shit? And that would still be an assault and shit. I would go on a Middle Eastern jihad and shit if I woke up and saw you in the bed next to me and shit. Okay? And I've been around. Alright? I've been around and shit. I'm the least discerning, most humane and empathetic person and shit. I cannot have any empathy knowing who you are and the bullshit you pulled in the past. And it goes right in line with this shit and this rage bait that we see all the time. She, deep down, if you make the video I'm making right now, she feels good about it probably. At least somebody's acknowledging it, unlike those white men that were just walking by. They didn't see her. Even if she would have touched one of the motherfuckers, they would have did like the fucking Matrix shit and said, they bend over backwards so her hand would pass right over their ass and kept walking with their drink. Yeah. So, since I saw that was humorous and shit, and the fact that she looked like she should be doing some endorsements for sausages and shit, I decided to make a fucking video. Okay, it's Sunday. It's July 13th, 2025. I'm still alive and well, contrary to popular belief and shit and insurance fraud. I'm still alive. And it really felt me good health, especially mentally. Yeah, I'm just tired, man. Hey, Eddie Murphy used to play this character called Velvet Jones, and one time he was sued on the People's Court on Saturday Night Live, and his defense was he only had one sentence. He said, "Your Honor, the bitch is ugly."
All these podcasts of men saying like women don't bring anything to the table, women don't do anything, these modern women ain't shit. If y'all want to fuck a man, just say that. You don't gotta make a podcast to say how you really feel, because it's starting to get suspicious. Either y'all want to deal with women in their bullshit or you don't, and you want to deal with a man. What is your other options? Y'all be talking like y'all got other options. What are you gonna do? Date a fish? Shut the fuck up and deal with it like we have to.